Welcome to the channel and welcome to this 2,000 point match play game between Space Marines and Iron Warriors. So today on the channel, my Space Marine army, known as the 13th, will finally get to meet Ramacles and his Iron Warriors, which have appeared on Warhammer and deploymentzone.tv a few times. Ramacles and his Iron Warriors are building up their force, ready to take part in the Champion of Chaos, the next Chaos tournament. And they're here on this world, in this sector, looking for slaves and Promethium and packing the holds of their dark ships with all the loot and all the plunder that they can find. There is an armoured column of Iron Warriors making their way through these streets, and the 13th are in the sector, and they saw that this Chaos Warband were close by, and they have also made planetfall with an armoured column and intend to push the Iron Warriors back. So we are playing 2,000 point match play game of cleanse and capture, because the Iron Warriors want to capture this site, the 13th wants to cleanse this site. That's the Maelstrom of War game from the main rule book. It's nice and simple. It's 3 cards a turn every turn. We like to keep it simple. And we're playing Search and Destroy deployment. I think Search and Destroy is the table quarters one. And I think I picked up here and the Iron Warriors picked down there. I think that's what we did. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Is that what we did? Search and Destroy?
Yeah, it was the other way around though. You took this one.
Oh, I'm this way?
Yeah.
Okay, the 13th are in this quarter and the Iron Warriors are over in that thing there. So thanks for coming down.
Thank you for inviting me down.
You've been on deploymentzone.tv quite a few times, but this is the first time we've met in battle.
In battle, yeah.
We met before in the open day.
Yeah, that was messy.
Yeah, it was a bit...
and exciting, yeah.
Yeah, the first time we met, I was very, very drunk.
Yeah.
And you got quite drunk as well.
I did get very drunk.
The next day, though, I was still drunk, so I just kept going.
Yeah.
But the next day, you were a bit of a wreck.
I was just really hungover, and there's lots of photos of me like
dying.
Yeah, various dehydrated forms. So.
Well, will you be coming to the open day this year? End of July, I think it is.
Yes, that one sounds exciting.
And maybe we should. I will intend to drink still.
Yeah, I'm going to drink as well,
yeah.
And I'm going to feel just as bad because I never learn from my mistakes. So.
Well, that was so much fun. We're really looking forward to doing that one again. But there is also the narrative event. There's also the deploymentzone.tv narrative event happening in... When's that one? March or April? That one's in April.
Over Easter time.
Yes, so we've got a narrative event at Element Games, who are our sponsors, in April. We've got the open day in July, and lots of things happening in the deployment zone. If you'd like to support us, if you'd like to support me, help get me out of the factory and get me doing this full time, then please consider subscribing to www.deploymentzone.tv. So, 2,000 point match play game of cleanse and capture, search and the quarter ones. I'm in this quarter, you're in that quarter. 6 objectives down on the table. The battle mat is from hotdiceminiatures.com. They're a Canadian company. All this terrain, apart from the Sky Shield landing pad, is from zenterrain.com. Actually, this is from something else. I don't know. I can't remember. I got this terrain like 4 years ago now. But it's definitely zenterrain.com. Lots of large line of sight blocking terrain all over the place. These items... they're barricaded up. This is going to count as ruins, essentially. Blocking line of sight, but anyone wholly on a terrain piece will get the benefit of cover. And with this dense city fight table, it should be quite interesting, because there are some large open firing lanes here and there, but other firing lanes to the right and left are completely blocked off. So it could and should turn into quite a tactical game. Right, let's see these armies. Right, this is my armoured thrust that will be bursting into the city. It's 2,000 points on the nose of Space Marines. I'm only using the Space Marines Codex to keep it simple. And my 2 chapter tactics will be bolter fusillades, so everything with a bolter keyword, rerolls, hit rolls of 1. And I was thinking about bringing Stalwart, which means I ignore wound rolls of a 1 or 2. But instead, I'm going to be bringing Master Artisans, which means I can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound every time I'm called upon to shoot or fight, fire, overwatch, something like that. And the reason why I changed my mind is because I wanted an offensive force. We're supposed to be breaking into the city and smashing the Iron Warriors. So bolter fusillades allow me to reroll hit rolls of 1 for bolter weaponry is quite offensive, and re-rolling a hit and a wound for 1 gun that I fire in each unit, that's quite offensive as well. It ups my threat level a bit more. Don't want to get defensive with the stalwart thing. Plus, I think that stalwart thing, ignore wound rolls of 1 or 2. If you're getting hit with a weapon that wounds you on a 1 or 2, it tends to have a really high AP and burn through your armor anyway. So the only things that would be, I don't find it come to effect very often, whereas Master Artisans, it'll be turned on, so to speak, all the way through the game. It'll be useful all the way through the game. So this is a single battalion, 8 command points to play with. I've got 30 tactical marines and lots of terminators, and the idea behind this list originally was bring 2 land raiders, shove some terminators in them, jobs are good, and then add some troops and some backfield dagger to support the list. So it's a narrative list is what we've got going on here. And in the troops slots, we have a plasma combi plasma, plasma combi plasma, and that one's just got a missile launcher in because that's all the points I have left over. And providing some backfield support is a dreadnought with a twin las, missile launcher, and a thunderfire cannon. The land raiders, so all what you see is what you get. So there is a multi-melter on top of the Land Raider Crusader. And I've got 5 assault terminators, the sergeant's got claws, and 7 normal terminators. And no upgrades on these terminators, just bringing them all storm bolters with them. Didn't want to put a heavy flamer or a cyclone missile launcher or anything like that in them. Just keep them as cheap as I can and stripped down. Besides, with bolter fusillades, they pack out a lot of shots with their storm bolters, and when the tactical doctrine is in effect, those storm bolters will be AP -1, and they hit on 3s. And with the stratagem Fury of the First, you can make those storm bolters hit on 2s, and I naturally reroll 1s with bolter weaponry, so potentially I could be hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s at AP -1 when their tactical doctrine is in effect, so they be pretty good at clearing away hordes. So that's what I wanted to do there. And some land raiders rocking away. And the reason why there's only 7 in the Crusader, because it has a transport capacity of 8, is because I'm bringing a captain in Terminator armor, and this is Brother Captain Solgaro. He's been gifted a suit of relic armor after the Death of Hope campaign, and I'm giving him the Warlord trait, the Imperium Sword, and the relic, the Burning Blade. What that means is the Burning Blade is strength 7 -5, 2 damage. It's like a pimped Relic Blade. Relic Blades do D3 damage. The Burning Blade does a flat 2, so I think it's better. And at strength 7 with the Imperium Sword, when I charge, he'll be up to strength 8. And also with the Imperial Sword, you get an extra attack as well. So on the charge, he's basically got 6 attacks hitting on 2s at strength 8. It's quite pokey. And I want him leading from the front. I want him leading this fight. And with him is just a stripped down lieutenant. I've swapped out his mastercrafted bolt gun for another chainsword, because he comes with a chainsword and bolt pistol. And I've done that basically to keep him cheap. He's only 60 points like that. And the idea is leave the lieutenant somewhere at the back, holding onto the castle, pimping the dreadnought and the thunderfire cannon. Leave him as cheap as you can. So while the captain leads from the front, the lieutenant is coordinating the firepower in the backfield. So nice, simple narrative, stripped down Space Marine lists, and I'm really looking forward to killing some Iron Warriors. Right, this is 2,000 points worth of Iron Warriors, just under 2,000 points. It's a battalion with a spearhead, so Chris has got 1 more command point than me. Iron Warriors do something about buildings, which doesn't come into effect in this game, but they also ignore cover. But it only affects infantry units, right?
Yeah, infantry and Hellbrute keyword chaps.
Infantry and Hellbrute keyword, they can ignore damage. Ignore cover. So it doesn't convert across to the vehicles because Chaos Space Marines don't get all the toys like normal Space Marines yet. So what am I looking at here, Chris? What's going on? Where's Ramacles?
Okay, so
that's the dude there, right?
Yeah, Ramacles in the middle there with his big old thunder hammer. And his the relic combi bolter, the Spike Spitter, which is the new one from the Faith and Fury book.
Okay.
Which a bit stronger, bit more AP, and does D3 damage a shot.
Nice.
That's fancy. And then his 2 little goons next to him. We've got the Warpsmith.
Yes.
And it's just a basic Warpsmith loadout. And then Dinocrates, his right hand man, who's on his left, but yeah. He's a sorcerer.
Yeah.
He has brought Prescience and Infernal Gaze as his 2 psychic abilities.
So not warp time?
Not warp time, no.
Okay, Prescience Infernal Gains, right?
Yep. He's there for... I mean, the guys are down here trying to take slaves, and they're staying fairly static at the moment. They're looting and pulling stuff out. So
yeah, well, you've got the armoured column of triple Vindicators, which you very rarely see these days. And the reason why it's rare to see Vindicators is because even though the gun can be terrifying, it's very swingy at D6 shots at times. So sometimes you can roll 1 shot, sometimes you can roll 6 shots. But at 24-inch range and without the fly keyword, as soon as someone runs up and touches one of these things, it can't shoot. It has to fall back and can't shoot. So I think the Vindicators suffer by only having a 24-inch range or not having an ability to fall back and fire. And of course their guns are heavy. They're not assault, so as soon as they move, they're hitting on force. 8th edition is not a friendly edition for Vindicators. However, on the board that we've set up with these dense city streets, there's going to be some mean firing angles. And Vindicators are supposed to be siege breakers. They're supposed to be designed for rumbling through city streets. So maybe in this game they'll come into their own. We shall see. But I do salute you for sticking by the Vindicator list that you've been fielding all this time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. It might be time to retire it soon. So.
But backing them up, is that a triple las Predator or is that an autocannon?
It's got the Predator autocannon because I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, and las cannons.
And then the twin, 2 las cannons and the sponsons.
And you've got Demon Engine rocking up with you, which is a Morphine with lash tendrils. They're good. Yep. And you've got a Leviathan, which Leviathans are always good.
Yes.
But these are Butcher cannons.
You've got the Butcher cannon arrays, which is 8 shots each.
Yeah.
And when you take damage from them, they also give you a leadership penalty as well. So
-2.
Make people run away in fear.
So plenty of armour for me to bust through. Looking over my shoulder, I'm thinking I should have brought more las cannons, but we'll see. Maybe my Terminators would just have to get in close and start tearing them apart. Oh, Warlord trait for your Warlord. What was it again?
So we're going with Siege Master.
Right.
Which is another new Warlord trait from the Faith and Fury book.
Yep.
And it gives him a 6-inch bubble, essentially. And vehicles and havocs in that 6-inch bubble get to reroll wound rolls of 1.
So as a Chaos Lord, he rerolls hit rolls of 1 for everything within 6 inches. Mm-hmm. But now he's rerolling wound rolls of 1 as well, which is the Lieutenant ability. But it only affects vehicles and havocs, and you've got a unit of havocs over here.
Yes.
Are these all with heavy bolters?
They're all heavy bolters.
I like it. Many, many shots.
Yes.
And they're cool.
Yeah.
So we've got some Chaos Space Marines.
Yep. So just two squads of 5.
Yep.
Each squad has a plasma gun in it.
Nice.
And the unit champion, on one of them's got a chain axe.
And you're here looking for slaves, looking to pack those dark ships. You've already brought some along with you that you've indoctrinated to the cause.
Yep.
Some cultists here. How many have you got in this squad?
16 there.
16 cultists.
16 cultists, and they've all been given the choice by Rimocles to either pick up a gun and fight for the Iron Warriors or get stamped into the ground. So these guys chose to fight. So.
Fight or die. Oh, we'll fight.
Yeah.
Death or cake? Could I have some cake, please? No. Terminators. Terminators are always fun. I've brought many Terminators. You've brought some Terminators. And of course, you've brought Obliterators along because Obliterators are good. Amazing. They're one of the amazing choices in Chaos Space Marine forces. And while this is an Iron Warriors list and they fight for Chaos Undivided, one of the things that Iron Warriors do is use whatever tools necessary for them to get the job done. So they've forced the Obliterators to worship Slaanesh and Slaanesh only.
Yes.
Because that allows you to do that endless cacophony.
Endless cacophony, yeah.
Which means after firing they can fire again.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's also a really nice word, what am I talking about? Iron Warrior stratagem?
So another new stratagem, the Rampant Technovirus.
Yeah, from the Faith and Fury book.
Yes, that's right. So I think it's 1 CP. I'll double check that. It lets you re-roll all of the... So when you pick your Obliterators to shoot, you roll a D3 for each to determine how strong they are, how much AP and how much damage. And the Rampant Technovirus lets you re-roll those.
Yeah.
If you don't like them.
Yeah, and that's an Iron Warrior specific stratagem, which is a really nice stratagem. So tagged on with the Slaanesh worshipping Obliterators, which Rambocles has said, no, you guys, you must worship Slaanesh and Slaanesh only, as long as that stratagem is still a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid not to, right?
It is.
We're playing a match play competitive game. We're supposed to use the tools that are available to us.
Yeah.
So this is a narrative list, obviously. It's got Vindicators in, and you're pushing through into the city to capture it. We're pushing through with an armoured column to cleanse you from this sector. This should be a very interesting fight. Here we are after deployment for this 2,000 point game of Cleanse and Capture, and the way it works in the main rulebook is you drop, I drop, you drop, I drop, and he who drops first can choose whether they go first or not. And I dropped way before Chris because I've got lots of transports. So I think I'm going to choose first turn unless Chris manages to seize on me. I've put a tactical squad in here, and they have combat squadded. So the Plasma Combi Plasma is in one half, and then there's a 5-man squad in the other half. And they're kind of sat out on the wing on that Rhino. There's an objective down here that they might want to get to, but they're my throwaway unit, if I want to say that. The missile launcher from this combat squad. There's a missile launcher in this tactical squad here. This squad of tactical marines, though, I haven't combat squadded yet, keeping them 10-man squad because they're close to the Land Raider with my normal shooty Terminators in and Brother Captain Solgaro in Terminator armour. And the reason why there's a bit of pressure here is because there's an objective there, there's an objective there, there's an objective there. There's 3 objectives rather close to my lines down here, which I could potentially rush out and get to on turn 1. There's the Lieutenant and the Tech Marine and the Dreadnought. I thought about putting the Dreadnought on this side because there's a nice firing angle, or putting it on this side, and in the end I decided to put it around here. And I've kept the Land Raider with the Hammonators back because there's some 5 Terminators in reserve and some Obliterators in reserve. And looking at Chris's list, it's actually rather short range, apart from the Predator, which I've made sure I'm more than 48 inches away, and the Butcher Cannon arrays on the Leviathan. A tactic that I could employ in turn 1, turn 2 at least, is stay back for a little bit and wait for the Vindicators and wait for some of the pressure to get in my lines and then hit him, rather than just throw myself forward in turn 1 and turn 2, because there's triple Vindicators down here along with the Mauler Fiend. Oh, and what's the thinking behind your deployment, Chris?
So, there isn't anything. So basically,
very little thinking.
This area here is kind of a big area for us to fight over, isn't it?
Potentially, yeah.
Objectives. We've got a little bit going on over there.
Well, the other 2 are here,
yeah,
and you're on 1 with a unit of Chaos Space Marines back there. So
yes.
They've been told to
they've got to sit back.
Yeah, sit back,
Hold
that entranceway into the city over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got a little strike team over here with the Leviathan and some Marines. They're going to kind of sneak around here and see if they can put some fire down over there.
Okay.
Go
so they're going to come round this way, hold this core, yeah.
Yep, and then the rest of the force, we've got the Havocs are going to sort of be defensive and sit here and cover some of these lanes here.
Yep.
And the rest of these guys are all going to have to push up and go after these objectives and wait until their reinforcements are ready up in the teleportarium to come down and start taking out some key targets.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I had the opportunity to put my Terminators in reserve as well, but narratively speaking, I didn't want to. I wanted to push forward into the city with these tanks up these roadways here, and it looks like you're pushing forward into the city from this quarter with your tanks. Meanwhile, you have got some options in the teleporter ready to fizz onto this battle grid. So, yeah, it might be a case of who blinks first in this mission. Okay, so I've got the option whether I want to go first or not. I'd like to go first. Would you like to try and steal the initiative, sir?
I'd like to, because it's funny, but I'm not going to.
You're not? Why?
Because I want to see what you do first. I've just explained that a lot of my stuff is sort of short range.
Right.
If I push out now, I still won't be in range of anything.
Right.
So it's forcing you to make the first move.
Okay.
So.
Forcing me to blink first.
Yeah.
Right, interesting. So let's go on to Space Marines, turn 1. Here are the orders for the 13th in turn 1. Secure objective 2. That's the one deep within the Iron Warriors lines. I'm not going to be able to get that. And advance out of my deployment zone. I'm not going to be able to get that one either. Lightning Strike, however, destroys something that's entirely within the enemy deployment zone. Well, all the Iron Warriors are down there. So I just need to kill 1 unit, which will also give me first blood. Right, here we are after turn 1 movement for the 13th. I moved to Rhino. I don't want to go any closer to all those Vindicators. Yes, they're not very good, but boy, when there's 3 of them, are they a threat. I could push forward here and then get jumped on. I could push forward around there and then get jumped on. I think I need to take out one of them first. So what I've decided to do is not blink first. That's pretty much it. Stay back for now. This rhino has advanced onto that objective. After advancing, I will pop smoke on it. And let's shoot some guns. So this Land Raider can see that Vindicator. I need first blood, need to take out some of these Vindicators, and this will give me lightning strike. Firing 3 las cannons at it, hitting on 3s. And it's strength 9, your toughness 8, I'm wounding on 3s. And I wound, and I can re-roll 1 hit, 1 wound every time. So I can re-roll that one with the Artisan's Chapter Tactics. So I wound 4 times, and it's AP -4 with a Devastator Doctrine in effect. Do you like that?
I really like that, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't get a save.
Yeah, thanks.
So a 4d6 damage.
Ouch.
How many wounds do they start off with? Because that's 12.
That, yeah.
Less than that. So that's a dead Vindicator. First shots of the game and blow it up with ease. Does it go kablooey, sir?
Let's find out.
It would be nice if it goes up. And you're like, no, it doesn't blow up. That is lightning strike, and that is first blood. Right, that was easy. However, because I didn't move much stuff, I don't have very many other things that can actually see or are in range. I am going to fire the Dreadnought out at this Vindicator here. Let's strip away another one. I've got 2 las cannons which hit on 3s, and they both hit. And we'll wound on 3s, and I can re-roll a wound. So 2 wounds, no save, AP -4, devastating. The Devastator Doctrine is devastating.
It's not rude, yeah.
2d6 damage for 12 damage. That's another dead Vindicator. Does that one blow up?
Let's have a look, shall we?
No. Wow, I didn't expect this to be so effective. Okay, missile launcher in this squad. Firing at that Mauler Fiend. Hits on a 3. I can re-roll a hit. I finally missed something. And then the Thunderfire Cannon. See, I could fire it at some Havocs. It's AP -2 with a Devastator Doctrine effect, but I'm only wounding you on 4s. So I think the thing to do it is to fire at this objective. Actually, those Marines there holding on to Objective 2 back there. I've got Take Objective 2 in my hand. I'm not going to be able to get to it, but if I kill them, then you're going to have to sacrifice a unit to stay back there on that objective. So it does 4d3 shots. 9 shots hitting on 2 Thunderfire Cannons, and I can re-roll a hit. So that number 8 hits, and it's strength 5 versus toughness 4, so I'm wounding on 3s, and I can re-roll a wound. So I do 7 wounds at AP -2 because the Devastator Doctrine is in effect, so 7 5-up saves to keep those Chaos Space Marines alive. Die, Heretic, die, and I wipe out that squad as well. And that's the end of Space Marines turn 1. That is a rough start. I've pointed at 3 units. Deleted 3 units, however, only get 2 points. 1 for Lightning Strike, 1 for First Blood, and I am still pinned back in my deployment zone. There are still Terminators in the Teleportarium for the Iron Warriors to bring in should they choose to do so in turn 2. They still have their Obliterators, but yeah, you didn't want to seize the initiative because you didn't want to pressure forward, and now I think you probably want to pressure forward even less.
Yeah, but that was that was brutal.
That was brutal. That was brutal. Let's go to Iron Warriors, turn 1. Here are the Iron Warriors' orders. They also want to advance out of their deployment zone and take any 3 objectives for supremacy. And Psychological Warfare, break the 13th. Okay, here we are after the Iron Warriors movement phase. They haven't advanced outside of their deployment zone, and getting Psychological Warfare will be tough. However, they have got supremacy for D3 points. The Mauler Fiend advanced round onto this objective here. And we have the Warpsmith, which advanced onto this objective. And the Predator has moved round and is covering this objective. And the Warpsmith, the Sorcerer, cast Prescience on the Predator, because if it moves and fires its heavy weapons, it would be hitting on 4s, but with Prescience, it's gone back to 3s, and it looks like it's lining up shots on my Land Raider down there. There's not a lot of fire lanes for the Iron Warriors because I stayed back in turn 1. Around here, the Chaos Space Marines and the Leviathan both advanced all the way up here, keeping buildings between me and them, set in their mission to come round onto these objectives here and terrify the shopkeepers that are huddling inside these walls. The Havocs, and they've moved up there to get some firepower down, either at the Dreadnought or at the Thunderfire Cannon. Cultists running around the corner as well. So it looks like The Iron Warriors are spreading out and taking the fight to the Space Marines. Right, opening up the shooting phase, the Havocs are going to fire down at the Thunderfire Cannon here. It is toughness 6, so Warsmith Chris has spent a point on Veterans of the Long War for +1 to wound. Havocs can move and fire their heavy weapons without penalty. So we've got 12 shots with these heavy bolters, hitting on 3s.
Let's do it.
Yeah. That was 8 hits. We're wounding on 4s now with Veterans of the Long War. And these are all AP minus 1. So Thunderfire Cannons have a 2-up save. So this becomes a 3-up save. I need to make... Well, they've only got 4 wounds. And I failed 2. It's on 2 wounds left. After the Thunderfire Cannon took damage, Arkanlan's Raider Pattern Assault Tank is getting lit up by the Predator down the street, all the way up there. Las Cannon rounds firing out first, hitting on 3s because of prescience on the tank. They both hit, and 3s to wound. Las Cannon's thumping into the armour of the... And they both wound, and it's -3. I've got a 2-up save. -3 is a 5-up save.
That's right, yep.
I failed them both, so 2d6 damage, sir. Good luck. Only 16 wounds to get through.
Oh, that's nothing. Especially when you roll magic.
Command point? 5 damage?
Yes.
Yes.
The command point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 4 damage plus.
Hey.
Well, it's up 100% better than it was before.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
6 damage. Now the Predator Autocannon, 2d3 shots.
Come on, Predator Autocannon. There we go.
6 shots. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Ramacles screaming at it. Didn't help. And strength 7, toughness 8. So you need 5s to wound. But you are rolling 1s because of his Warlord trait. And in the end, you didn't need that. Well, you get 2 wounds through. Is it AP -1?
AP -1, 3 damage.
3 damage. So I need 3s. And I fell 1. Do I want? No, I'll let you get through. I'll let it get through. It'll put me down to 7 wounds left. So the Land Raider has been hit. It's smoking, but it's not out of the fight yet. And interestingly enough, that's the end of the shooting phase because we're being so cagey with each other. No assaults coming up. And no psychological warfare. You haven't advanced out of your deployment zone, but you are on 3 objectives for D3 points for supremacy. So okay. It's 2-0 right now. Looking for big money here.
Not
it's
bad.
2 points each, interestingly enough, at the end of turn 1. Here are the orders for the 13th in turn 2. I ditched secure objective 2, and now the orders are to secure 4 and defend 4, which are way away from my lines. I still need to advance out of my deployment zone. All of these objectives will be tricky. So finally the 13th advance into this city, determined to capture this site from the Iron Warriors. And there's objective 4, so I'm not going to be able to secure or defend it this turn, and I'm not advancing out of my deployment zone, so I'm not going to score any points. But what I did do is advance that Rhino and this Rhino straight up the street and a pop smoke. I know you do that in the shooting phase, but let's just do it now. Then 10 guys in there, 5 guys in there, both of the plasma, combi plasma, and the idea is to present threats. 2 of the Vindicators are down, so present threats. And then I thought that when Land Raiders go down a bracket, it wouldn't half their movement from 10 to 5, but it does. I thought maybe it'd lose 2 or 3, but it halves. It can only move 5 now, and those are the Hammonators. It's not necessarily a bad thing that the Hammonators are back here, because if Obliterators turn up anywhere in my back lines, then I could potentially jump out on them. But it's not moving very far now. And what I'm trying to do is push the screen forward because I'm aware that there's some Obliterators ready to teleport in, as well as the Terminators teleporting in. The tank is coming around this corner here. Essentially, I've got line of fire on that Mauler Fiend. I need to kill it before it jumps on my stuff. 5 guys in there hunkering down on that objective as well. And at the end of the movement phase, the Tech Marine Gunner can heal a vehicle and put D3 wounds back on it. Okay. And the Thunderfire Gun is a vehicle. Okay. So you took 2 wounds off of it, and I put 1 wound back on the gun. You hurt his toy, so he's tinkering with it, bringing it back to life. Right, spending my first command point on Wisdom of the Ancients on the Dreadnought, so the Dreadnought gets to re-roll hit rolls of 1, and I'm going to fire at this Mauler Fiend because it's such a nasty threat with all my guns, hitting on 3s with the las cannons, and I can re-roll 1s. And I'm going to be wounding on 3s with the las cannons, and I wound both times, but you do get a 5-up invulnerable save.
Yes.
Did I mention the Devastator Doctrine is still in effect this turn? It's still in effect this turn.
Yeah.
So 5-up invuns on the Mauler Fiend.
Come on. There we go.
You make one fail one, d6 damage for 5 damage. And then the missile launcher misses, but I didn't re-roll one of my hit rolls yet. And it still misses. So only 5 wounds. Right, so what I need to do is whittle it down some more. So I'll put the assault cannons and multi-melter from the Land Raider Crusader into it, but the 12 shots from the Hurricane Bolters are going to pound into these cultists down here. And I hit on 3s. And I wound on 3s. And they have a t-shirt save. And one of the t-shirts deflects a mass reactive round. Now the assault cannon will spool up and take out this, well, hopefully hurt the Mauler Fiend. Now it is a heavy gun, but Land Raiders can move and fire their heavy guns without penalty because of the power of the machine spirit. So I'm hitting on 3s, and I'm re-rolling 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients. So I'll re-roll those 3 1s. Now I'm not going to re-roll my hit or my wound yet because I'm keeping that for the multi-melter. And mind you, I should have probably shot the multi-melter first because it might have hit and wounded naturally.
Yeah.
Anyway, 5s to wound, and that was 3. 3 wounds at -2 because the Devastator Doctrine is in effect. So 3 5-up saves. And I take
Good
2
one.
more wounds off.
Right.
Right, now the multi-melter, hitting on a 3 and re-rolling 1s. And it misses. Oh no. Oh no. See, the idea is kill that before it jumps on something. And now, apart from a Thunderfire cannon, I don't have any guns that can rain down into it that have line of sight. This piece here entirely blocks off the line of sight from the Land Raider over there. I don't really want to put a Thunderfire cannon into a Mauler Fiend. It's more of an anti-infantry gun. And so I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to actually drop it on the Havocs this time because these guys are going to have to take a morale test. So let's drop it on the Havocs and try and force morale. 4d3 shots from the Thunderfire. 10 shots, 2s to hit. Re-rolling 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients. That was a 2. Okay, they all hit. And then it's Strength 5 versus Toughness 5. So I need 4s to wound. And I re-roll 1s because there's a Lieutenant nearby. And I can re-roll that one because of my chapter tactic. So that many at -2, which becomes a -1 because you're wholly within a train piece. Sorry, yeah, it's 4s to wound. So only 4. So I can re-roll a wound. Did I re-roll a wound?
You did re-roll.
I did. Okay, so 4 wounds at 4-up saves. You make them all. It's not going as well as first time, is it?
No.
Well, it's going really well for you.
The first time was pretty scary.
Right, 4 lance cannons then into your Predator. And the heavy bolters will go into the Predator as well. I'd like to fire the heavy bolters at him, but he's closer and he's a character, so I can't target him. Anyway, 4 lance cannons into Predator. 4s to hit because I'm injured, and I can re-roll that because of my chapter thingy-bob. Everything hits. 3s to wound. And I can re-roll that because of my chapter thing. Everything wounds. 4d6 damage on the Predator. What? I was just checking if I can re-roll damage rolls as well, but that's an orc thing.
Yeah.
I can't. That's So command point. That didn't help. Right, it's got 3 left. Maybe the heavy bolters can do it. 4s. Okay, so 4 hits. 5s though. 5s to wound. The heavy bolters can't do it. The Predator will live, and there's a Warpsmith that could run back and heal it. Right, it's got 3 wounds left, and you're spending a command point on Iron Within. Iron Without. On 6s, you'll ignore the damage that I just inflicted on you. So
that's right.
Good luck.
You're supposed to shout Iron Without.
Iron Within. Iron Without. And you rolled a6.
Yeah.
4 wounds left, and because I'm still being a bit cagey, apart from the Thunderfire. Oh no, I fired the Thunderfire. I think I've run out of... Oh, I've got a gun. There's a missile launcher in this tactical squad down here. Streaking through the streets. Let's try and hit that Predator. I hit the Predator. Now can I wound the Predator? I can wound the Predator. It's AP -3 because the Devastator Doctrine is in effect. You need another 6.
Can I save the Predator?
Can you? Yeah.
Oh.
No. D6 damage? 5 damage. Now you need to roll a bunch of 6s.
Yes.
So you need to roll at least 2 6s to keep the Predator alive.
Easy.
Easy.
You ready?
Do it in the sleep, mate. 1 6.
Oh,
2 6s, and what was that one under there?
That's
as well?
a 4.
Okay, so the Predator's alive on 1 wound left. And I've run out of gun. And I haven't killed anything. And I haven't scored any objectives. And that's the end of my turn. That's the end of 13th. Turn 2. Here are the orders for the Iron Warriors after they too ignored the advance order last turn. They need to defend Objective 2, which is the objective the Predator is sat on. Psychological Warfare, break the 13th, and Kingslayer, find, hunt down, and slay Sol Garrow. Here we are after the movement phase for the Iron Warriors. Before we continue, there's Objective 2 that you want to defend.
Yep.
And you ran Ramacles back towards this Predator because if it pops open, you won't be defending it. But this way you've got a character back there that I can't target it. And your Warpsmith is going to put D3 wounds back on the Predator as well.
Yep.
With his healing stuff. Let's see.
Repairs.
Okay. So he puts 2 back on there. And you said there's a stratagem as well.
Yeah, we're going to be cheeky.
Right.
For just 1 CP.
Yes.
It's, it just heals your vehicle.
Another 3 wounds.
Yeah.
And that one is called Unholy Vigour. It's an Iron Warrior specific stratagem. And it's in this book here. So the Predator's back up to 5 wounds, which means it's going to be hit on 4s instead of 5s. And you are defending that objective here. Now, the cultists... Oh, we did the morale. You lost 3 more that ran away. But they're hiding down in this space there. The Havocs are up there. The Mauler Fiend, instead of going that way round and threatening the Land Raider and the Dreadnought, has been ordered around this way. Because you know I've got secure Objective 4 and defend Objective 4 in my hand here. And there's 15 tactical marines racing down the central street towards that objective. So it's quite clear that the Mauler Fiend wants to wreck open one of those rhinos. And joining the firepower, joining the fun, will probably be the Leviathan Dreadnought, right, because it stayed still. Yep. So it hits on 2. So you'll be firing into smoke, so you're hitting on 3s. But it looks like you want to peel apart those transports there. And then we had the Terminators drop in here. And the Obliterators right in my back lines. Why Terminators here?
So the Terminators are coming in there. We're going to try and pop open this Land Raider.
On 7 wounds, right.
And then the Terminators are going to open fire with their combi bolters.
Right.
Although that's not amazing for shooting Terminators. I think the Terminators can have a little meeting.
Okay.
Have a little chat on the battlefield.
So it's a threat. I've got to deal... I mean, there's 5 Terminators there. I have to deal with them some way. And if I come down this way to deal with them... Then
it's pulling off the main line.
Yeah. And the Obliterators back there, I wouldn't have dropped them there. I would have dropped them somewhere up here where they'd have a couple of turns of shooting, but I guess you really, really want that Land Raider dead.
Yes.
You need the Land Raiders dead.
I believe I could, if I get lucky, I can threaten both Land Raiders from that position.
How are you threatening this Land Raider? Oh, right, after you... you can fire twice. Yeah, you could fire in, kill it, fire again, kill... Yeah, interesting.
I'll use the Rampant Technovirus, which lasts for the whole turn.
Okay.
And you've got better odds of getting 3 damage, 3 minus 3 AP.
You've been thinking this through and everything.
I've had to think about it. I tried.
Did you spend a command point on thinking?
I did. I spent 2 command points and it still didn't work. So that's how it goes.
Right, Psychic Phase. You've got a Prescience that you can pull off and a Smite or the other one. So what are you doing with your Warpsmith?
We're probably going to put Prescience on this because we're going to give it... He's going to have a little shot down.
Not on the Predator?
The Predator's already got a buff from here, so if I want to try and if I want to try and maximise the firepower there.
Okay. Okay, so we've got dice. Prescience going on the Vindicator.
Yes.
Which stays still. And you needed a 7, and that's a 7. It passes, I can't deny. Are you smiting now? It will. You get Iron Smite range of the Rhino.
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay. Need a 5. And that passes, I can't deny. D3 mortal wounds on the Rhino. And 1 wound gets stripped off the Rhino. The driver gets a little bit of a headache. Now we move on to the shooting phase. Where would you like to start, sir?
I think the Vindicator's going to open up on this Rhino.
Okay.
Seeing as his mates are dead, he needs to do something.
D6 shots. This is the swingy part. 5. That's good. And he's hitting on 2s with Prescience. Which is going to be 3s because of the smoke.
Yes.
So 3s to hit. And you get 4 hits anyway. And it's strength 10, right?
It is strength 10, yes.
Nasty. So 3s to wound. And it's only 2 wounds.
That's okay.
That's okay?
That's okay. Yeah.
Minus 3?
Yes.
I think I need 6s. That's definitely not a save, and that's 2d6 damage, 9 wounds to get through, and that's 7. And you're thinking about command pointing it. It's a 50-50 chance. Basically, you need a 4.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, good luck.
And that's all.
And that's a 4. You do. The Vindicator does get a shot through the smoke into the Rhino, which doesn't explode. And there's 5 chaps inside that one, which scramble out of the wreckage. And one of them gets cut down as they disembark. Actually, just looking, that's the one with these. I've got 10 in each because that's the 5-man squad that came out of that Rhino there. And I only had a missile launcher in that tactical squad. And these 2 squads had the plasmas, combi plasmas. But they did combat squad up. That's the full non-combat squad. Anyway, lost 1 so far and just 1 in total. So there's going to be 9 left. Right, the tactical squads have disembarked from that Rhino there, placing really, really carefully. I didn't want to be round here because it's too far away from objective 4 and I might get piled into by a Mauler Fiend and die. And I didn't want to be too far that way because then I'll be in Butcher Cannon Leviathan range. So I've hidden them. But I also didn't want to be close to some Iron Warriors Terminators that were just here as well. Let's just say they're in a bit of a tricky situation, and that's probably the best spot they could be in. Maybe some of them will survive a charge or some shots. Who knows? So where are we going next, Warsmith Chris?
Next, we're going to be putting down some firepower on that wounded Land Raider down there.
So it's trying it again. The Predator's trying it again. Yes. All the guns?
All the guns, yeah.
All the guns. Okay, 2 last cannons. Hit on 4s because you're injured. No reroll there. Okay, 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. And it doesn't wound. Predator autocannon.
Yep.
2d6. 2d3 shots, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no!
Oh no. Only 2 shots. Forced to hit. 1 hit.
Yeah.
Strength 7. Toughness 8. Wounds on a 5. And it does wound at -1. I need a 3, which I pass. This time the Land Raider takes it. Next up, the Havocs. I'm going to pick on the unit of 4 here. Are you sure? I mean, you could potentially charge them. And are you putting veterans on the Havocs?
Oh, stop it.
What? Getting in your head?
He just gets in my head all the time.
Let's spend a couple more CPs for thinking. Just going to shoot him.
Just going to fire some bullets.
Yeah, okay, right. Heavy botter. Coming in hot. Hitting on. Where are we rolling? Yeah, here we do. 3s to hit. 8 hits, 3s to wound. Is that 6 wounds? At -1. So that was a... So I need 4s on this unit of 4. And, wow, you wiped them out. So 1 Rhino down and some of its contents. And now the Butcher Cannons, all the Butcher Cannon shots, 16 shots from the Leviathan coming into the 2nd Rhino. Hitting on 3s because you're firing through smoke.
Through smoke, yeah.
It would have been 2s, which would have been absolutely brutal.
Ooh.
10 hits, wounding on 3s, because these are strength 8. AP minus 2, isn't it?
1.
1?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
4s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 damage. I don't want... Mind you... No, see... Because if I let it die, then the Mauler Fiend charges the contents. If I keep it alive, then the Mauler Fiend is only charging a Rhino. I need to try and keep it alive. That's the dead guy that came out last. So I'm going to have to spend... Because it's 2 damage each, right?
It is, yeah.
I'm going to have to try and spend a CP to keep it alive. So the Mauler Fiend just bumps into and wrecks the Rhino. And it doesn't work. Right, does the Rhino explode? No, it doesn't. And there's 10 chaps inside it. And one of them dies as they disembark. Both Rhinos down. Tactical squad disembarked there. That's going to be an 8-inch charge from that Mauler Fiend. I've thought about putting them up here and taking the charge anyway, because it couldn't kill all of them in close combat and then potentially falling back onto the objective that I want to take. But this way I might actually keep them alive. Right, next up, we're going for the Obliterators back here. And you're spending 2 command points.
That's right, yeah.
Being greedy now.
Yes.
For Veterans of the Long War.
Yeah.
So you're selecting this unit, so you spend a point on Veterans, and then you're spending a command point on Rampant Technovirus.
That's the one, yeah.
So you can reroll all these D3s.
Yes.
So the strength of the weapon is strength 6 plus D3, which you could reroll if you want to with Rampant Technovirus.
We're going to keep it because we've got vets on as well.
Okay,
so
all right.
That's fine.
And the AP is 2. Would you like to reroll that?
We're going to keep that as well.
Okay, and the damage is 3. So you're not...
Need it.
Yeah, okay, right. And what are they firing at?
So, with those stats at 3 apiece, they're
Strength 8, -2, 3 damage.
They're going to fire at the unwounded
Are they?
Land Raider first, yeah.
Nice.
For
So this is 18 shots, right?
Yes.
6 each. So the Obliterators mutating, morphing their weapons and firing in at this Land Raider Crusader. 18 shots, hitting on 3s. That was 15 hits, and at strength 8 you would have been wounding on 4s, but with veterans you're wounding on 3s. And these are all AP -2, so I have 4 up saves. But each one that gets through does 3 damage. And I've already spent a command point on my reroll. So you could nuke it in 1 here. Or maybe not. 6, 9. I fluked it. Only 9 damage. It's got 7 left. The Land Raider stands firm. Now, interestingly enough, both of the Land Raiders are down to 7 wounds each. And you're spending your last 2 CP on Endless Cacophony.
Endless Cacophony, yeah.
And you're going to fire the Obliterators again.
Yes.
So you've got to roll for it again every time they're selected to fire. So strength is 8. And Rampant Technovirus is still in effect.
AP
1.
So we're going to re-roll this.
Yes, okay. Okay, strength 8, AP 2.
That's better.
Damage.
3.
Same again. Strength 8, AP -2, damage 3. And now you select a target.
We are going to go for the las cannon.
Las cannon one.
Yes.
Okay, so they basically teleported in and are spraying fire this way, then that way. Let's see if they can crack open this Land Raider. They are Land Raiders, you know. The Mechanicum do make them tough. 3s to hit. A lot less hits this time, but 3s to wound because of veterans. And again, -2, 3 damage. So basically, I've got 7 wounds left. I need to make at least 4 up saves to keep the Land Raider alive.
Don't do it.
And I don't make... See, and I spent my command point, so the Land Raider dies. You do crack it open. Does it go kaboom? It doesn't go kaboom, and there are 5 Assault Terminators inside. And one of them dies in the wreckage. So the Assault Terminators disembark from the Land Raider, and then the last firepower of this turn, these Terminators unloaded into the tactical squad that got blown out of the Rhino last turn with their combi bolters. 8 wounds managed to come through, so 3 up saves. Oh my, the squad gets wiped. And that is the end of the shooting phase, a rather effective shooting phase for the Iron Warriors. They've blown up 3 vehicles. The Land Raider here has gone, the other Crusader, the other Land Raider has been injured. Both of the Rhinos, despite popping smoke, have been wrecked open by butcher cannon fire and the Vindicator. It was an effective shooting phase. Now we're on to the charge phase. The Morphine charging at the tactical squad that came piling out of the Rhino. I managed to put 1 wound on it before it came charging in. It's an 8-inch charge. Good luck, sir.
Okay, let's do it.
And that's Snake Eyes. So even with a command point reroll, you are going to fail the charge. He got lit up by all the mass reactive rounds and probably stumbled over his own mechadendrite tendrils. Would you like to try a charge anywhere else? I mean, these guys could potentially charge. You could put Obliterators into Terminators over here. Okay, Chris is choosing not to charge anywhere else. Not going into the Terminators down here, and this would be an 11-inch charge and doesn't want to risk the Overwatch. And at the end of that turn, you didn't get Psychological Warfare or Kingslayer, but you have started to defend Objective 2 all the way down there, and I need to kill your Predator and the Warlord next to it, so that's not going to happen. You will get 2 points at the end of my turn. But interestingly enough, at the end of turn 2, it is only 2 points each. However, all the Iron Warriors assets are now deployed on the table, and it's time for the 13th to strike back in turn 3. The orders coming through the Voxnet for the 13th continue to be bad, let's say. Secure 4, defend 4. I'm not going to be able to get on it. An Emperor's Retribution. Score D3 points if you control an objective that was controlled by your opponent. I'm not going to be able to do that one either. And so the orders from High Command seem somewhat scrambled. So my intention is quite clear. As I can't receive any of these orders, as I can't complete any of these orders, I just need to kill the threats. This is one of the threats. So I disembarked from the Land Raider and switched to Tactical Doctrine. This is the other threat down here, the Obliterators. So Brother Captain Sol Garrow also disembarked. And he's got a re-rollable charge because he has the Imperium Sword Warlord trait. The idea is to get in there, kill the Obliterators, and kill the Terminators over here, and potentially kill the Mauler Fiend. And the other thing I want to do is to move the Dreadnought round, because he's got 48-inch range with his twin las and missile launcher, and I can thread the needle all the way down to the Leviathan Dreadnought over here. The last remaining tactical squad has disembarked from the Rhino because there's going to be no more threats coming down that roadway. They've been told to defend that roadway there, and the Rhino's bursting round just to be a distraction really. And there's an objective in front of it. Then I move the Land Raider and the Tech Marine Gunner, who can heal D3 wounds on the Land Raider for 2, which puts it up to 9, which is very good because 7 to 8 I'd be hitting on, it's hitting on 4s. Now I'm back up to 9. I'm actually hitting on 3s again. So that's really handy, really handy. Right, now let's go on to the shooting phase. Right, first up, spinning the command point and big guns never tire, so that the Dreadnought can move round and fire its guns even though it moved its heavy weapons as though it stayed stationary. And I'm going to be firing through all the way down at the Leviathan Dreadnought over there with 2 las cannons which hit on 3s, and I'll be wounding on 3s, and I can re-roll one of them because of my chapter trait. So I wound both times. Now it's not a relic Leviathan, it's a normal Leviathan, right?
It's a Hellforged Leviathan.
So it's a 5-up invulnerable save.
Straight from hell.
Okay. And you make them both. Missile launcher. And I can re-roll 1s because he is within 6 inches of Brother Captain Sol Garrow. And he hits, strength 8. And it wounds. Another. This is a 4-up in fact. Alright, that didn't work. Maybe part 2 of my cunning plan will work. Spending a command point on Fury the First on my Terminators. So they're hitting on 2s. And they're going to shoot at your Terminators. And I'm re-rolling 1s because of bolter fusillades. After the re-roll, everything but 1 hit. Now here's the tricky part. Strength 4, toughness 4. I need 4s. But these are AP -1. 12 wounds, 12 threat saves. And I killed 2 Terminators. 3 left, so this squad will fire everything into it as well. 8 shots with the bolters, re-rolling 1s, so no re-rolls there, and 4s to wound. 4 wounds at AP -1 because the tactical doctrine is in effect, so 4 more 3-up saves, and you make them all. And then the missile launcher hits and wounds at AP -2, so 4-up save. New D6 damage. 1 explodes under the weight just of a missile. My Warlord Sol Garrow can see and is in range as well. 2s and 4s, and I can re-roll because of my chapter tactics. So 3 more 3-up saves.
Oh.
1 gets scratched. I need them dead. Let's drop the Thunderfire on them for 4 D3 shots. That's a lot of shots. Hitting on 2s. Everything hits. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling 1s for the Lieutenant. And rerolling 1 of these because of my chapter trait. Right, they're all AP -1 now. So these are all 3-up saves. There's only 3 wounds left in that squad though. And I just wiped the squad. Right, so threat number 1, the Leviathan, is still stood there. Threat number 2, the Terminators are gone. Threat number 3, the Obliterators, I'm going to charge. This Rhino advanced, but the Land Raider just moved and it's back to hitting on 3s. And I'm going to fire everything into the Havoc, starting with a multi-melter, which misses, so I'll re-roll that, which hits, and it's strength 8. I need a 3 to wound, which wounds, and it's AP -4, so they don't get a save. Oh no, they get a 6. They get a 6.
They get a 6.
Yeah, they get a 6 because they're in terrain.
They're in cover, yeah.
New D6 damage. Well, as you there, we only have 1 wound each, right?
They have 1 wound. Yeah.
Okay, so the multi-melter melts 1 to a slag, and then we're going to spool up the Hurricane Bolters. I got 2 wounds with the Hurricane Bolters, so 2 3-up saves. I kill another one. That was -1 because of the tactical doctrine, and now the assault cannon. I've already done my reroll to hit, but I haven't done my reroll to wound yet. And I'll do it now. So they're all AP -1, so 3 up save. So 3 up to 4 up, back to 3 up.
Okay. Ooh.
And I kill 2 more. Leaving 1 heavy bolter remaining. And now the last thing left to fire will be this tactical squad that got blown out of the Rhino last turn. Need this Mauler Fiend dead. It's on 4 wounds? 4 wounds after Infernal Regeneration. So I have a Plasma Combi Plasma, 2 of them, and I am going to overcharge. Here's the Combi Plasma, both hit, and here's the Plasma. And I can re-roll a hit roll. 3 hits at strength 8. And I can re-roll a wound roll. So only 2 wounds come through, but 2 5-up saves. Each does 2 damage. Make one of them. It's got 2 left. Alright, let's throw a grenade, which hits. I need a 5 to wound, and it wounds. That's -1. You need a 4-up save, which you make. So it runs through the grenade fire. Okay, bolt of death coming up. 12 bolter shots, 2 wounds to get through. Re-rolling 1s, which is good because there was 4 of them, and that only helped me once. 5s to wound. Only 1 wound, and it's -1, so 1 4-up save on the Mauler Fiend. It's going to make it. It is going to make it. Damn you, Mauler Fiend. Damn you. Okay, that's the end of the shooting phase. I killed some Terminators and whittled the Havocs down to 1 left. So now we're going to go on to the assault phase. Let's start with this tactical squad here. I am going to charge a Mauler Fiend. You've got no command points left, so you can't do that Demon Forge thing where you reroll hits and reroll wounds.
Can't do anything, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're hitting on 5s now in close combat or something. So let's charge you. It'll stop you charging something else. And if I get a long enough charge, I can string out and get to that objective that I need. So charging, that's not long enough. Right, I'm going to command point reroll that 1. That didn't help. But I do manage to get in just, and the idea of re-rolling it is if I'd have got a long charge, you don't have to you have to get in base contact with a model, but then the rest could have strung out and got onto that objective there, and potentially then the Terminators could have come in behind and helped out. Anyway, we've locked it up. Right, we're coming over here. Hammonators charging Obliterators. We'll do Overwatch in a second. They make it. And so one of the Assault Terminators died to Overwatch as they came charging in. Now, Brother Captain Solgaro is just over 9 inches away, so this is a 10-inch charge, which I can re-roll with Imperium's sword. And he fails the charge. Okay, so only 2 successful charges. No command points to interrupts from the Iron Warriors, so I'll start here. The Assault Terminators have 9 attacks on the charge, 3 each, and I've spent a command point on Fury of the First, so it's +1 to hit. So those Thunder Hammers are now hitting on 3s instead of hitting on 4s. And I can re-roll 1 hit, 1... Everything hit.
Wow.
Just, that's never happened before.
That was good.
It's never going to happen again. 3s to wound. This is where I roll a bunch of 1s and 2s now. And I can re-roll 1 of these because of... everything wounded. Everything hit and wounded.
That's quite rude.
AP -3, so 5 up invulnerable saves, and each does a flat 3 damage.
Ouch.
So Solgaro didn't get in there, but maybe he didn't need to. You blew up their right. They're very angry. So
how many was that? 9?
It was 9.
Wow.
9, as the
9.
Germans say. 5 up invuns. Where are we rolling?
Here?
Yep.
Oh dear.
How many did you make?
So...
How many wounds have they got each?
I think they've got 4. I'll double check it. But if they do, that's 3.
That's 3 dead Obliterators.
Yeah.
That's nice. You see, Assault Terminators with Fury of the First now, they can do what they should have been doing all along. That was a beautiful thing. And that's why I wouldn't have put the Obliterators back there, by the way. Because the one thing I wanted to hit with my Assault Terminators were your Obliterators.
Yeah.
Mind you, they did the business. They took out my Godhammer pattern Land Raider when they came in, but gone now. Right, over here, Tactical Squad have piled in to the Mauler Fiend, and there's 9 guys there. That's 18 attacks, +1 for the Sergeant. 19 attacks with Shock Assault.
2 little wounds to get through as well.
Only 2. How hard can it be? Hitting on 3s. I can reroll 1 of these, because my chapter tactic. 13 hits, 5s to wound, the tricky part. Reroll 1 of these as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did 6 wounds. Interesting. So you need to make 6 3-up saves to keep your Mauler Fiend alive. And you don't. And does it blow up? Don't blow up, 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 don't blow up. It doesn't blow up. Now, interestingly enough, after you remove that model, I can pile in 3 inches to the closest enemy model and score my objective. Don't take it with you. And the tactical squad end up there within 3 inches at the centre of that objective. And I said at the start of the turn I wouldn't be able to score anything, but somehow I managed to fluke it and get on to that objective there. I've secured it, which gets me 3 points to 2, but you've defended that objective back there, so it's 3 points to 4. So the Iron Warriors are in the lead by 1 point. However, if this tactical squad is there at the end of my turn, I will have defended that one as well, and I've got 2 command points left. And I'll probably definitely be spending them because it's such a low point scoring game. If there's one guy there, definitely be spending them for insane bravery and try and keep him alive on that objective. So 3 points to 4. The Iron Warriors are in the ascendancy. The 13th pushed back hard and have cleared their back lines of all the elite units, the Obliterators and the Terminators. But mission number 1, which is take out that Leviathan Dreadnought, that failed, which basically puts these guys at severe risk, to be fair. And there's a Vindicator in front of them. And there's a... I did really well. You have got a morale test to take for your 1 Havoc up there. And he's okay. I did really well to push you back and get some points there. And let's face it, you haven't got much left.
No, I've been really pushed back. That was a very decisive turn.
It was a decisive turn. It was indeed. But you are winning by 1 point and you are next to 3 objectives. And it's such a low point scoring game. It's anyone's game at this point still. So let's go on to Iron Warriors. Turn 3. Here are the Iron Warriors' orders. Secure 3, which they can't do. It's deep in my line. Psychological warfare, make the 13th break. And the Long War, basically score D3 points if you destroy 1 Imperium unit. Just kill a unit for D3 points. Right, here's objective 3, which they want to secure, so they're not going to get that. But kill an Imperium unit for D3 points. And, reading the card, if you kill 3 Imperium units, you get a flat 3 points. So with that in mind, the Iron Warriors spread out to take this city. The Chaos Space Marines have moved forward onto that objective. The Leviathan staying still to open up its butcher cannons into this tactical squad round here. You put 1 more wound back on the Predator. So it's now hitting on 3s again. And Ramacles has moved up to shout orders forward and back to the Vindicator and to the Predator. And it looks like you're lining up shots on my Land Raider. Okay. So, Psychic Phase?
Psychic Phase, we're going to try and put Prescience on the Vindicator because it's moved. We need a 7 for that.
Yes.
Oh!
That doesn't work. And his second Psychic power?
It's going to be a Smite.
Is it? Right. Smite works. D3 mortal wounds on this squad of Tactical Marines here. You kill one of them with Mind Bullets. Nice. So now we go on to the Shooting Phase. Vindicator firing at the Land Raider?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so D6 shots.
I'm going to pop it over here.
For 4 shots, hitting on 4s instead of 3s because the prescience didn't work.
That's sad.
So you get how many hits?
1.
Just 1 hit. Strength 10, toughness 8, winning on a 3. And you can re-roll that 1 because of your warlord trait.
Yes. Nice.
And it wounds. -3, right?
Yep.
So I need a 5. I don't get a 5. D6 damage. 6. It's on 3 wounds left, and then I guess you're opening up on the Predator with it, or was the Predator going to pick some different targets?
I was hoping to get it so the Predator could take on the Rhino for 3 units, but we'll have to finish the Land Raider, so the Predator's opening up with everything.
Everything? Into the Land Raider?
Into the Land Raider.
Are you sure now?
I want to guarantee that it goes down. If I don't, I'll fluff it all up. And
You don't have to shoot the Land Raider if you don't want it. I'm trying to discourage you from shooting my Land Raider.
Argument you're making here, actually.
It's basically I want my Land Raider alive. There's no compellingness to it. I just want to keep my Land Raider. I like Land Raiders. They're lovely.
I'm going to shoot it.
2 las cannons hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because your traitorous dog is next to it screaming orders. Otherwise known as Ramacles. Yeah. 1 wound. -3. I just need a 5 up. Does the Emperor protect? Yes, he does.
Okay.
Oh no, you got the Predator autocannon, so they do a flat 3 damage, right?
They do.
And I got 3 wounds left. Okay, right.
So 2d3 of them.
4. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Okay, they all hit.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Now this is the tough part. Winning on 5s.
Winning on 5s.
But rerolling 1s.
I've got no CP left, by the way. Otherwise, I would.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's a 1. And
There is a 1. Yeah.
For your thing. So, and they're AP -1.
Yes.
So all I need to do is make 3 up saves, or my Land Raider goes. How hard can it be? Right. Now, this is the thing. If I spend that command point to re-roll that, then I won't be able to keep these guys alive after Butcher Cannons rain into them. And you have got Psychological Warfare in your hand as well. So, and I'm defending that objective. No, I can't spend it because I've only got 2 CPs left. The Land Raider dies and blows up. What was that, Chris?
That was exciting.
No, it wasn't.
That was really exciting.
No, that was very sad.
I'm having a really good time.
A single tear rolls down my cheek. Both Land Raiders been wiped out. So the only thing left to fire now that is in line of sight and range is your Butcher Cannon dude.
That's right.
Do you want to fire at the Terminators that are not holding on objectives?
Let me think. No.
It's going to go into the tactical range.
It's going to go into the range, yeah.
And you're hitting on 2s now.
That's right.
Can I pop a smoke grenade so you're hitting on 3s?
Yeah, just go for it. If you've got a real smoke grenade.
Smoke grenade detonates on a 7. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so you're still hitting on 2s. And you've got many shots.
Many shots, yeah.
Many shots.
Here they come.
13 hits, wounding on 2s now. Strength 8.
13 hits for the 13th.
Yep, it's a lucky number for me. You picked up a 2.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it's AP -1. So all I need to do is make a bunch of 4 up saves. We do not bend, my friend. We do not bend. 1, 2, 3, 4. You kill 4 in the tactical squad. 4 left. Bolt pistol from the sorcerer coming out, hitting on a 3 and wounding on a 4. What's that?
He gets it.
He gets it. And he takes one out. Oh, what a legend. So you're taking out 5. That's the end of the shooting phase. And it's -2 for getting lit up by Butcher Cannons.
That's right, yeah.
So that's leadership 7 and they're leadership 8. I'll need a 1 to keep any from running. Are you charging anywhere? I don't think you're charging anywhere.
Got no charges.
So I could roll for this, and if I get a 1, anything higher than a 1, then I can re-roll it with And They Shall Know No Fear, or I can spend my 2 command points to guarantee me that objective there. You have got D3 points for blowing up that thing. I just need to think about whether, see, if I roll it, I get to keep 2 command points.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll it. You know, I've always favoured the dice gods. I've always looked kindly on them. I love you, dice gods. Don't be mean to me. Just need a 1. 3. So at leadership 7, that is 9. My leadership is 8. I can do that.
And then I get my psychological warfare.
You get your psychological warfare and D3 points, but I get to defend that one. I forgot you had psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Okay, right, yeah, I've done it now. I've rolled the dice. I get 2 points for that. You get 1 point for psychological warfare. I'm happy with that. I got 2, you get 1. Plus you get D3 points for this one over here.
Should we pop it in here? 4, 2.
2. So in total you got 3 points and I got 2 points. And so at the end of turn 3, it's 7 points to 5 in favour of the Iron Warriors. They're winning by 2 points, but the 13th have pushed them back. There are no more threats in my back lines. So now I can begin to push my way forward. Let's find out what the 13th do in turn 4. The Vox clears. I get some fresh orders. Defend objective 2. I'm not getting that one. That's the one right in the Iron Warriors corner. But Big Game Hunter, kill a vehicle and no prisoners. Kill anything at all. I can do this. Okay, 7 points to 5. I need Big Game Hunter and I need no prisoners. I need me those 2 points. And it's going to have to be the Predator. So what I've done is I've moved the Dreadnought over here and spent a command point on Big Guns Never Tire so it can move and fire its heavy weapon as though it stood still. And I've spent a command point on Adaptive Strategy. So if the Tactical Doctrine is in effect, you go back to the Devastator Doctrine. I'm now back at the Devastator Doctrine for a turn. And then it will switch back to Tactical automatically. And all the Terminators advanced. And Brother Captain Solgaro is giving me the reroll hit rolls of 1. Here's the reroll wound rolls of 1. So the Dreadnought will be hitting on 3s and wounding on what it wounds on, and the last cannons will go straight through the armour, back in Devastator mode. And the Tech Marine gunner healed one more wound back on the Thunderfire cannon there. That's essentially what I need to do. Kill the Predator. And if the Dreadnought can't do it, then a missile launcher from this tactical squad is in range and can see it. But before all of that, let's overcook my plasma and kill me a witch. Hitting on 3s at this point blank range with my hero sergeant. And he dies. A wound on a 3. And he doesn't even wound you. The plasma gun just explodes in his hand and melts him and he falls. Maybe there was some psychic...
It was mind bullets.
It was mind bullets, yeah. His squad was cut down and he ran forward, spraying his plasma all over the place, and he went, "No, you shall not pass." Gandalf-like.
Yep.
Mind you, Gandalf isn't a bad guy. Right, okay, so the twin las from the Dreadnought firing at the Predator, which should be dead. It got down to 1 wound at one point. How many wounds is it on now?
It's got 6 wounds now.
Is it? Okay, right. 3s to hit with las cannons. And 3s to wound with the las cannons. And you have no save.
Go straight through.
2d6 damage. Obviously the missile launcher was going into it as well.
It's done.
Dead Predator. Please blow up. Your Warlord's right there.
Yeah. Please don't.
Yay! You've got no command points.
Donk.
D6 damage for your Warlord and your Warlord. Doing a Warlord first?
Is it D6?
Ramacles. Yeah, it's 2d6 damage it does.
2d6 damage? That's
Yeah.
what I thought, yeah. Oh god, he's dead.
No, it's D3.
Yeah.
D3 damage for the Warlord. He takes 3.
3, that's big though.
And the dude?
And the Warpsmith?
Yes. 3. That was a big bada-boom.
Ouch.
I like to think that the order came through the Vox there. Big game hunting it, take it down. And so switching back, adaptive, flexible, tactic. That's so exciting. I can barely speak. All the things happened here.
Yeah.
Flew all the way down. Kaboom! Hit the fuel tank. Explosions, death, chaos.
Everyone's wounded.
Beautiful stuff.
Horrible, yeah.
Right, so this missile launcher can fire under that gap and thread the needle and hit your Vindicator. And I need a 4 to wound. And a wound, and it's AP -3 because the Devastator Doctrine is in effect. So you get a 6-up save on your...
Yep.
You got that one there? On the Vindicator.
He makes it.
You're rolling all the 6s now.
I know, it's coming.
Okay, so the only thing left to fire is the Thunderfire gun. The Tech Marine pointed his gun at the Havoc and blew him up, and that is the end of the 13th turn 4. It's 7 points each. It's as close can be. Let's go on to Iron Warriors, turn 4. Here are the Iron Warriors orders. Claim and despoil. Get an objective that I previously controlled. Rise to glory. Kill a character, vehicle or monster with a character. And Will of Chaos. Take objective 3, which is miles away from. The tech gunner is on that one. Right, at 7 points each, the Iron Warriors cannot claim and despoil. They certainly cannot get the Will of Chaos, secure objective 3 down here. But Rise to Glory, kill a vehicle, and making sure that the last wound comes off from a character is potentially possible. Ramacles has moved around here along with the sorcerer and the Warpsmith, all crowding around the Vindicator. And you've smitten the Rhino, but Prescience failed.
Yep.
So the Rhino's on 4 wounds left. The Leviathan has shoved out onto the street, and no doubt he's going to be going after those Terminators. And we have some Chaos Space Marines around here huddling down on that objective, looking for loot in those crates. So let's go on to the shooting phase. Where would you like to start, sir? Right, you need to kill a vehicle with a character. So if you fire the Vindicator first, you're saying you're probably going to blow up the Rhino. So you need to go with these 2 crazy shots from Ramacles first to see if he can kill the Rhino on his own. If he can, that's a point. And he hits on 2s, so I'm saying there's a chance.
Let's go.
Hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s, he's a Chaos Lord. Now it's strength 5, right?
Yep.
So you need 5s to wound. I'm toughness 7. And you reroll 1s to wound because of your Warlord trait.
It's only on
Vehicles and inventory. Vehicles and inventory, right?
Havocs.
Vehicles and Havocs.
Yeah.
So what's the AP on this crazy gun?
If you could bear with me one moment, Caller.
Okay, let's find out. -3 D3 damage.
Yep.
Yeah. So I fail the save. It does do D3 damage.
For 3.
For 3 damage. So the Rhino's on 1 wound left. And it says rapid fire 2, but you're not a Terminator or a bike.
No.
So you don't get 2 more shots.
No, I do not. So
Rhino's on 1 wound left. Okay, any more shots coming into the Rhino? Now, potentially you could kill it with a pistol shot from your Sorcerer, just saying. Because he's a character.
We're going to have to.
And if he takes the last wound off of it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
He hits. 5 to wound. Doesn't wound. Okay. That was a long shot.
Yeah. Alright, the Vindicator will just have to open up now.
Okay.
For 3 shots.
3's to hit, stay still.
Reroll the 2 ones.
Okay, 2 hits.
And then wounding on 3s.
Reroll on the 1.
Yep.
Okay, 2 wounds, 2 6s. Nope, that's a dead Rhino.
It's dead.
Which doesn't blow up. But the last wound wasn't taken by a character, but you have got rid of the Rhino, which was camping on that objective there. Right, let's go on to the Leviathan. Butcher cannons at the Terminators, hitting on 3s because the Leviathan moved. At strength 8, you're winning on 2s. And this is AP -1, so I need 3 up saves. But each does 2 damage and will kill a Terminator. And you kill 2 Terminators. And that's the end of the Iron Warrior's turn. I lost 2 Terminators. So it's -2, but an additional -2 because it's Butcher Cannons. So they're leadership -4. And 5 -4 is 9. And they are leadership 9. Or 5 + 4 is 9, and they are leadership 9. They're elites. So they hold. And that's the end of Iron Warrior's turn 4. So it's exactly 7 points to 7 as we head towards the end game. And turn 5. Right, last turn I got rid of defend 2. Here's the new orders. Defend 1, secure 5, and blood and guts. Kill something with my fists. Here we are partway into the shooting phase. I'm not going to be able to secure objective 5 or get blood and guts. But I am defending objective 1 down here. So I will be getting 2 points at the end of Chris's turn. And then I unloaded what guns I could. The Thunderfire Cannon wiped out the remaining cultists. They're now gone. Back to the tactical doctrine, by the way. Fired the missile launcher from the tactical squad in the Leviathan, into Leviathan. It bounced. And then the Terminators unloaded rapid-fire bolt guns at AP -1 into it and took 2 wounds off of it. And that's it, apart from the Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought will fire into the Leviathan now with 2 last cannons. And I hit on 3s, and I wound on 3s. Wound both times. 5 up and vulnerable save, sir.
Oh no.
Fail them both. So it's got 12 wounds left, 2d6 damage. And it takes 7 more damage. And the missile launcher, which I can re-roll because of my tactic, hits. And wounds on a 4, which wounds at -2. So a 4 up save. And you fail.
Oh no.
And another d6 damage. For 5 damage, I think that's the Leviathan.
That's it.
And even if it detonates, it's not within 6 inches of anyone around it. So the Leviathan is gone. And I've started to defend objective 1. And I've started to push back and take control of this battle grid. But it is still 7 points each at the end of the 13th turn 5. However, all that Ramacles and the Iron Warriors have left is this Vindicator with the characters around. And a unit of 5 Chaos Space Marines hiding in and amongst those buildings down there. But there's still enough time for them to get a few more victory points before the evac is given by this Warlord. Let's find out what they do in turn 5. After recycling some orders, here are the Iron Warriors' orders in turn 5. Claim and despoil, rise to glory, and defend objective 6. They are on objective 6, but it needs to go to turn 6 for them to score these 2 points. And so the Chaos Space Marines continue to loot on objective 6, defending it there. And the Vindicator moves round along with the characters. And now the Sorcerer is going to cast Prescience on the Vindicator.
Yep.
Needs a 7. And that passes. And you also want to smite the Terminators. And that passes. D3 mortal wounds. Injuring 1 but not taking 1 down. Then Ramacles levels his relic bolt gun at the Terminators, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. And at strength 5, he's wounding on 3s. And it's AP -3, so I need a 5 up invulnerable save, which I pass. So the Vindicator loads a shell, d6 shots, for 3 shots. And it's going to hit on 3s because it moved, but it's got prescience on it. And they all hit, wounding on 2s, and demolish a shell straight into some Terminators. Reroll wound rolls. Yeah, of course it wounds. 5 up and vulnerable saves, Crux Terminatus. And one of the Terminators will get blown away, and then the second shot will do D6, sorry,
yeah.
and blow 2 of them away. So 2 Terminators get destroyed, and that is the end of Iron Warriors. Turn 5, and you score no points. But I get 2 points for defending that objective over there, making it 9 points to 7. The 13th are winning.
Wow.
At the end of turn 5 by 2 points, and the player who went first rolls a dice.
This is very important.
On 1, 2.
Be nice to me.
No, we go on to turn 6. It's 9-7. I got rid of secure objective 5. We've got area denial. I'm going to get D3 points. There is no Iron Warriors within 12 inches of the centre of this board. Psychological warfare won't be possible at this stage. And blood and guts, well, I need to charge a Vindicator. The Tech Marine Gunner heals the Tech Marine Gun, and people down here, the Tactical Marines, the 13th, stand still. Meanwhile, over here, the Assault Terminators and Sol Garro charge down the street towards the remaining Iron Warriors lines, and then the Terminators unload rapid-fire death, point-blank range in the Vindicator. Toughness 6, I didn't do any wounds, so let's fire a missile launcher down at it, hitting on a 3 and wounding on a 4, which I can re-roll. Doesn't do anything. Okay. Twin las and missile launcher from the Dreadnought. 3s to hit. Both hit. Target acquired, my friend. 3s to wound. And they both wound. 2 6-up saves on the Vindicator.
Oh,
no. 2d6 damage. For 10 damage. I think they start on 11.
They do, yeah.
Missile launcher misses. So the only thing the Thunderfire cannon can fire is the Vindicator for this number of shots, D3 each. Hitting on 2s and wounding on 5s. I can reroll one of these. So 2 wounds at -1. 2 4-up saves. And the Vindicator makes it. It is still alive, which means my Terminators need to make an 11-inch charge. This will be blood and guts. I failed the charge. More importantly, I'm going to take a Vindicator cannon to the face. And it fires twice, 2 6s, and it misses the shots. And that is the end of my turn. That is the end of Space Marines turn 6. I've whittled it down to 1 wound left. But I do get area denial. There are no Iron Warriors within 12 inches of the centre of this board. Mind you, you might be within 12 inches of the centre, which will only get me 1 point. 1 minute. Let's double check. Let's double measure everything. No, just out there, just out of the 12 inches. So I do get D3 points for clearing this field for area denial. And that's 2 points, making it 11 points to 7. But you get 2 points for... I should have dropped the Thunderfire on them.
Oh.
While I'm narrating it, while I'm talking it through. I'm still winning by 2 points though. I get 2 points for area denial. You get 2 points for defending that objective there, making it 11 points to 9. So the 13th are winning by 2 points as we go on to Iron Warriors turn 6. Here are the orders for the Iron Warriors. The Warp is your ally. Get a point for passing a psychic test. That should be easy. Rise to glory. Kill a character or monster or vehicle with a character. So basically kill a character. And assassinate. Kill a character. It looks like they're character hunting as this game draws to a close. So these Chaos Space Marines have been ordered to hold on this objective. Meanwhile, over here, the Triumvirate of Iron Warriors step out and prepare to engage the First Company and Brother Captain Sol Garro. So the Iron Warrior Sorcerer is casting Smite. You need a 5. And that passes. It will do D3 mortal wounds on the Terminators for 3. That's going to kill 1. Put down to 1 wound left. What's the next power?
Infernal Gaze.
Okay.
So it's 5 again.
Yes.
Which I've got.
Just. Okay.
And then you roll 3d6. On each 4-up you get a mortal wound.
Okay. 4s for mortal wounds. No mortal wounds. Interesting. On to the shooting phase. The Sorcerer unpins a grenade and chucks it at the Terminator, sitting on a 3. And wounding on a 3. Doesn't wound. So Ramacles orders the Vindicator to fire D6 shots for 1 shot, and unfortunately it's now hitting on a 5 because it's smoking and steaming, but it hits. Strength 10, it will wound on a 2. And it wounds, and my Crux Terminatus doesn't save me, so he gets wiped out. Boom goes the shell. 1 Terminator screening the Warlord, and the Warpsmith aims his melter gun at him. The Flamer's out of range. 3s to hit. And you miss. Now, you were hoping to get rid of the Terminator so you could fire Spite Spitter, this relic bolter, into Brother Captain Solgaro, but he ain't dead. So all the remaining shots from your Warlord going in to the Terminators. 2s to hit, they all hit. 3s to wound because it is strength 5. And you wound 3 times, it's -3. So I need 5s. I failed 2. It's D3 damage each time, right? I failed all of them.
Yes.
Terminator's dead. Terminator's dead. And that is the end of the shooting phase. Now, I see what you're doing here. If you kill him, that's Rise to Glory and Assassinate and Warlord.
Yes.
This is an all or nothing move.
It is all or nothing.
So, who's charging? All of them?
Well, yeah.
I think the Warpsmith is too far out. We measured for the melter, didn't we?
Yeah, let's do the Sorcerer first, just in case he gets to block the...
Okay. Let's roll 2d6 and then we'll measure up. I don't even know how far it is. 8? 7? Is that enough? So long as you're within 8. Overwatch while you're measuring. And I can reroll one of these. I hit twice.
It's 8.
And I can reroll one of these. I don't, is it, anyway, I didn't wound you on Overwatch. Is it in range? Did you make it?
It's just
Okay. So now Ramacles is going to charge?
Yep.
Okay, let's Overwatch him. Rerolling 1s. And I can reroll a dice roll because of my chapter tactic. I get 2 hits. 4s. I've wounded him twice. How many wounds has he got?
He's got 2 left.
Okay, so he's taken 2 wounds at AP -1 by the Stormbolter before he runs in. Will he get cut down? No, he dodges the shots. Will that slow down the charge, or will he be able to make this charge? Snake Eyes. It slowed him down. And that's the end of Iron Warriors. Turn 6. Right. It's 11 points to 9.
It is.
I'm winning.
You are.
This is what winning feels like.
It was good.
That was a glorious moment. If you'd have made that charge in there was at least 3 points in it. But I think if it goes on to turn 7, you're probably in some trouble.
Yeah.
Because that Vindicator's on 1 wound left, and there's a Dreadnought aiming at it.
Yeah.
And then if I make that charge on you, and I've got Hammonators, and I can move 5 inches forward, I think I might better wipe out your characters.
That was his moment to shine.
It was.
It didn't pay off in the end, so...
Fortunately for you, you make the pain go away on a 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Because the person who went second rolls a dice.
Please put me out of my suffering, dice gods.
And this is the way the world ends. So Ramacles led his Iron Warriors to this world, led his warband to this world, to grab loot, to grab Promethean, to grab as many slaves as he can and pack them into the hulls of the dark ships. But they weren't able to gather as many slaves as they wanted to. The 13th came here and pushed them back and have won. The Space Marines have won this day. And before this defeat turned into a disaster, before the First Company and Brother Captain Solgaro ran down the street and slammed into them and made sweet kebab out of them, Ramacles immediately teleports out of this battle grid back to the battle barge, taking his triumvirate with him, probably leaving a smoking Vindicator behind, which would get shot at or punched at by some Terminators and Dreadnoughts. And in the end, it's a Space Marine victory. It's a Space Marine victory.
It's a Space Marine victory.
It went one way, then the other way.
It did, yeah. And you know what? I gave it my all.
Yeah.
It was so close at the end. It came down to that roll. It could have changed everything. And that's the best kind of game.
That was, if you'd have made that charge,
Yep.
They would have sung glory to your name for years to come.
Yeah.
But in the end, it wasn't to be. In the end, you weren't praying to the dice gods. You're the Iron Warriors. You're not praying to any gods.
No gods.
You're just following
All
your
the
own
gods.
path. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the gods. No gods are all the gods. Pick a god. Any god will do.
Yeah.
Anyone will help you. But clearly, no one wanted to help you
Not
that
today,
day.
no.
So the first couple of turns, it was such a low point scoring game. I think I did the right thing by not. You didn't want to seize the initiative,
No.
and that kind of gave me an idea in turn 1, which was okay. I'll hang back for a bit, and then my first turn shooting, taking out 2 Vindicators straight away.
Devastating, yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. But the second turn of shooting, I don't think I killed anything. I think I tickled a Leviathan, and that was it.
The whole game just swung. It was like a pendulum, the whole thing. And we took it in turns to basically kick each other pretty hard. So.
Yeah. There was some. Yeah, I always like battle grids where there's a dense amount of line of sight blocking terrain on it,
definitely.
because it makes it kind of that cat and mouse type of game.
Yeah.
Do I go that way or do I go that way? Your Mauler Fiend originally coming this way, but then swinging around this way. Then you wrecked open all of those rhinos and pounced on the goodness inside, things like that. And then I had to think about which way I'm going with my dreadnoughts up here to try and take out some targets.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, I would use that adaptive strategy to go back to Devastator Doctrine, and that worked.
That really worked out well, didn't it?
And moving this out and doing that and taking it, you got me thinking.
Good.
You got me thinking. You definitely got me thinking. And I know you haven't got much left, but considering I brought 30 Tactical Marines, 2 Land Raiders and a chunk of Terminators, I've got some tactical back here in the backfield castle, and that's all that's left of my Terminators. I would have liked to see Brother Captain Solgaro dip his burning blade through your skull.
Yeah.
That would have been quite nice, because you said you haven't lost in close combat yet.
No, Rimocles is very lucky. Anyone who's fought him knows he's very, very lucky. So.
Do you want to see what happened if I'd have made the charge?
Nah, let's just...
Because he would have moved 5, and then he's got re-roll charges, then he would have got in. Do you want to, shall we roll some dice and see what would have happened?
We can roll some dice, yeah.
Yeah. It's up to you. We don't have to.
No, I mean, obviously, you should probably see what happens if I go into combat first. That would be
Okay, right. Let's see what happens if you would have made the charge first. Let's do that. How many attacks does he have on charge? 6?
Yeah,
5?
5. Let's say
5 attacks.
Yeah.
Well, they've got Chaos Lord's got 4 attacks plus 1 for Hateful Assault. Have he got any bonuses to that?
No bonuses, no.
No bonuses.
5 Thunderhammer strikes.
Okay. And he's hitting on 3s with his Thunderhammer. I take it.
Yeah.
It's not a relic Thunderhammer or anything. All right, so if you'd have made the charge, come on, 3s to hit, re-rolling 1s. There's already a drop dice there. That's not a good start. 2s to wound with a Thunderhammer. Okay, so 3 wounds.
Yep.
I've got 6 wounds in total.
Yep.
So if I make 2 4s, no, you'd have killed him. You'd have killed Brother Captain Zorgaro and you'd have won, because the game would have ended and you'd have got 3 points.
But now you fight back. Let's see.
However, if I'd have made the charge, I'd have had 6 attacks on the charge with Imperium Sword, and I'm hitting on 2s and I'm re-rolling 1s. Oh, the other thing I'd have done is definitely switch to the Assault Doctrine.
Yes.
Mind you, I don't need to, because that's an increase of AP and I'm AP minus 5.
I've got 4 up.
When I charge, the Burning Blade's up to Strength 8. So I'd have wounded, and each of these does 2 damage.
Okay.
So 6, 4 up and vulnerable saves.
This is where in the past
doing
he's
2
been
damage.
very lucky.
And 4 wounds to get through.
Oh no.
So that's a fail, that's a fail. You'd have failed just enough to kill him.
Yeah.
At 4 wounds? No, you got 5 wounds. You've got
Yes,
5
but
wounds.
he's only got 2 left.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
you know 2 wounds. So what we're saying is, if you'd have charged me, you'd have won.
Yeah.
If I'd have charged you, I'd have won.
You'd have killed him, yeah. Mutually assured destruction
Yeah.
of the big guys. There.
Yeah. But in the end, he did the right thing. He's trying to get in there, and there's the firepower's coming down the street.
Yeah.
Tried to make a couple of charges, but thought, no, better off.
Yeah.
Thought better of it.
Maybe pinned, maybe he was trying to move out and there's just too much coming down.
It's too much firepower coming down the street. Missile launchers, las cannons, everything. Brother Captain Solgaro is a man out of time. A man brought forward 10,000 years from the time of the Horus Heresy down to maybe he recognises that.
They if they didn't know each other before, they certainly know each other now.
I know you. Don't run from me, you dog.
Yeah. Staring each other down the street.
Maybe we'll meet again.
Never forget that face.
Some sunny day. Right. That was glorious. That was a nice tactical game. Very much enjoyed myself. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
We had much fun. Big wow. If you want to support us, if you want to see some more of this sort of thing, then please consider supporting us, joining deploymentzone.tv. And for everyone who watched this game, I hope you enjoyed that one too. Happy wargaming.